so thrilling to see how the world is full of conspiracies and theories that humanity hasn't solved or heard of in their entire life. It piques our interest as to why our existence here is needed for these kinds of mysterious theories that are probably being awaited to be unraveled sooner or later, or even dismissed to the public to earn more exposure. The pole shifts influence our planet, and mass extinctions that arise then and now are odd nowadays as well. Even Adam and Eve's story can change how we view humanity from the start until now. This video will discuss CIA classified book about the pole shift, mass extinctions, and the true Adam and Eve story. Recently, there has been a talk about a book called Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. Citizens of the world have been discussing this book, whether it has a connection with wisdom and increasing the boundaries of human knowledge. The contents possess pole shifts, mass extinctions, and a very exciting story of the true Adam and Eve tale. Before it was released to the public, the book was claimed by the CIA and was written by Chen Thomas to cover the story from the public, and the government banned this book from the world. A scientist called Chen Thomas also revealed that the true Adam and Eve story includes how humanity's lives were wiped out 1 million years ago, and it started again into a new leaf for these past years until now, of how the world was created, where the islands and countries were built one by one. It was a devastating moment for every humanity to suffer from until these days ahead. It is very shocking when the CIA book talks about how the pole shifts, filled with mysterious discoveries and heavy secrets deep within the content of the book. Pole shifts led to a very fierce fight between both academics and critics all over the world because of its controversial idea. Even the Ice Age evolution was also discussed because it neared the coast and shifted the Earth as it spun every day, considering that Antarctica contains lots of icicles and cold snow all over. Many countries were turning 90 degrees, completely different from what they used to. This made people all over the world shiver with terror. Because of this, a lot of information is leaked from the book that shakes the world into a terror phase, where Earth's magnetic fields have undergone many changes throughout the time that are recorded in the geological records. Scientists also examined the rocks and sediments to continue observing how they change Earth by discovering the truth behind all these phenomena. People have also been wondering when it would be declared to the public of this mysterious speculation. Maps and several countries with odd carvings and intense connections questioned humanity as well. A scientist was also forced to be an outcast because he joined religion, flood, with science together, which made religious people like the popes or bishops go crazy. Amidst the rumors and mystery, there is still one unanswered question. Could these historic tragedies reveal the secrets of the death patterns that formed life on Earth? There are also reports about mass extinctions and their causes in various times, like volcanic activity, which put marine life in danger as well as humans on Earth. These are called catastrophic factors that happen naturally due to the ecosystems. Biological factors happen throughout the time when two or more different species clash, or a new species that disrupts the whole ecosystem makes it become a mass extinction, or extinction mechanisms like animals that are gone due to the environment that was happening back then on Earth 1 million years ago. Even humans can also destroy an animal's environment, like habitat destruction and polluting their environment collapsing. Using an integrated strategy, this study integrates geological, climatological, and paleontological data. Moving on to the true Adam and Eve story, many religions view this story of how humanity is created in this world as Adam and Eve created the concept of how human beings were made, and scientists have been observing the history of Homo sapiens by studying their skeletons and genetic studies, and many more to be found. This is an original retelling of the Adam and Eve myth from the Islam and Islamic culture and Jewish Christian. Some believe that the Al-Quran and biblical story and provide a more complete and academically founded consideration, given the fact that they are typically understood from a religious position. Based on the leaked details, the book studies sociology, biology, and biological evolution to provide a theory regarding the development of humankind. It offers a different take on human development, putting out a complex story involving several primordial populations with an unusual blend of logic and trust. This reimagining attempts to make a connection between academic findings and sacred ideas. Reading about science, religion, and conspiracy theories excites us in a way that we think our minds can venture a lot outside of the world's understanding. Many tales in the Al-Quran and Bible, like the story of the flood of Noah, also make people believe these stories and how it impacts the earth and humanity's understanding. However, these theories are not 100% real and therefore stated as theories. Citizens of the world can debate about this stuff to show humanity's deep interest in the mysterious knowledge that revolves around us. It's important to maintain the line between suspicion and open-mindedness when exploring knowledge. This involves thoroughly investigating facts while staying open to new ideas and different points of view. Whatever the origin of the claimed CIA book, it serves as an example of the complexities that attract our creativity and the complexity of our world. Because of the book that has been booming all over the world years ago, Chen Thomas wrote this book with a pseudonym where someone claimed that he was a real person and was married and even had grandchildren. The book was also 200-ish pages, but it only published around 54 pages, with some of the pages missing as well. It was a shocking fact to the world, and humanity keeps wondering whether the full information will be released or not. His biography was also in tight security, and his deductions did not always consist of facts, as he told his stories with many sources like other scientists' sources or related carvings. It feels like he collected his ideas from many sources and combined them into one completed book. We didn't know whether he was a valid researcher or not, considering how he researched these ideas was strictly locked. Many points were pointed out as an important statement throughout the book. Convincing evidence suggesting a worldwide flood may have truly happened is the fact that the concept of one was recorded by several civilizations that never interacted with one another. Chen Thomas's book, The Adam and Eve Story, was categorized and revised by the CIA, implying that it contained extremely harmful and problematic material. Within the next century, the author believes that a pole shift will cause disastrous earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and enormous waves that could wipe out entire nations. If the poles of the Earth reversed their position, global climate regions would change significantly, possibly permitting tropical plants to spread in Siberia. A pole shift might result in a global flood equal to the Great Flood, as the theory goes that the Earth's core might collapse and the solid surface would shift in line with the new magnetic poles. Like during the Great Flood, massive tsunamis brought on by a pole shift might wash entire islands and the waves away. In the last 3 millennia, the Earth's magnetic field has already decreased by almost 30%. Could there be another big flood? This is a question that history lovers have been raising for decades. The Al-Quran and Bible is not the only source that mentions global flooding. Numerous civilization stories also refer to it, therefore it's likely that they all relate to the same terrible event. But according to folklore, during the calamity, water flooded the entire region, even the highest mountain summits. However, estimates from scientists indicate that at least 2 additional global seas would need to fill up Earth before such a catastrophe could arise. Does this suggest that we can relax because the ancients underestimated the size of the flood? Former CIA agent Chen Thomas is confident that the global flood cannot only strike again, but it will happen again sooner or later, and humanity is still wondering when it will happen. It is very terrifying that our fate is in the hands of the world that we cannot control. And that's it, everyone. Even theories like the pole shifts and mass extinctions can teach us a lot of things to think that humanity might give us hope to lessen all of the tragedies that occur in the world. Adam and Eve's story can even reflect the humanity of how humans are made of, and debate this conspiracy with thousands of fresh new ideas. If you like this video, please like and subscribe.